Whether or not you've ever actually climbed to the top of a mountain before, you know that in order to get to the summit, it takes small, deliberate steps forward. That's the only way you're going to get there. So why do we feel like in our lives, the big goals we have, the big dreams, you could say the mountains, do we feel like it doesn't need to take a lot of work? Why do we feel like we should be able to just snap our fingers and it all come true? Today, we're talking about the little things, the small things, because after all, it's the little things you do each and every day that depict your success in life. This, my friend, is episode 297. This is your pathway to the top.
Yo, are you ready to flip the script on life? Because those bad days, they're just doors to better days. And that's exactly what we do here at Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. Your host, Kevin Lowe, he's been flipping the script on his own life, turning over 20 years of being completely blind into straight up inspiration, motivation, and encouragement just for you. So, kick back, relax, and let me introduce you to your host, Kevin Lowe.
What is up, my friend? Welcome back to another episode of Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. I am stoked to have you here today as we're diving into another solo episode today, talking about the little things. Now, today's topic honestly was inspired by my conversation with Alan Lazaros. Hopefully you caught his interview featured in our previous episode. If not, I highly encourage you to go back and give it a listen. The knowledge that Alan drops in your lap is absolutely insane. And today, well, I just got a little bit of inspiration from what we talked about, and I thought I would dive deep into it for today's episode. So the reason why I chose to focus on the little things is because the fact is true. Even though the little things, when done by themselves, seem totally insignificant, when they're done day after day, when they're repeated, they compound. And ultimately, the impact is enormous. And when that happens, well, extraordinary things can happen in your life. So today, the whole point is for you not to get overwhelmed with life. I think all of us have some big dreams that we're chasing, things that we want to have happen, but to be honest, sometimes we get so beaten down where it feels like nothing ever really works out in life. And we feel like those big dreams, well, they just lead to disappointment. But maybe we've all been going at it the wrong way. We all were just waiting for that dream to come true, for that spark to happen, for it all to just come together. But in reality, it's the little things. It's the things we do every day that move us towards our goals. Those insignificant things that at the time, you don't think anything of them. But with a little thought, a little deliberate action, a little purpose, a little drive, we're going to transform those little things into big things. And that is what today is all about. Now, if you want to really give a boost to this whole idea, I'm inviting you to grab a spot on my calendar. I am offering free coaching this entire summer. I've opened up the calendar just for you. So if you would love to sit down with me for 30 minutes and to talk about life, to figure out what you got going on and where you're trying to get to, let's use this summer as your launch pad to make the second half of this year truly epic. It's totally free. It's no sales pitch whatsoever, I promise. It's just me wanting to add value to you and to help you out in your own life. If you're interested and want to sign up, I've made it super easy. You can simply text SUMMER 2024. That's just one word, so no space in between summer and 2024. So SUMMER 2024, text that to the phone number 33777. Again, text SUMMER 2024 to 33777, and you will get an automatic response from me with a link to my calendar for you to book your time. Now, if you would prefer another option, Well, just scroll down and check out today's show notes, and you can find a direct link to that same calendar. Either way, it's totally up to you. I'm just trying to make your life as easy as possible. Moving forward into our topic today, I always love a good metaphor. You've probably gathered that if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time. Heck, I already used a metaphor at the beginning about climbing a mountain. But right now, I want to use a different metaphor, and it's painting a picture, the picture of your life. Imagine each day as a canvas, and the choices you make throughout the day, well, those are the artists. Each stroke of a brush, that's one of the choices you made. Some of them, well, they're big, some are small. Some add to the masterpiece, and others, maybe they take away. But the beauty in this metaphor is showing you that you're in control. The choices you make throughout the day, they are going to create the masterpiece of your life. You get to choose which strokes you make. So I want you to think about it. What are the strokes you're making each day, and how are they impacting your life? The small little strokes that do the finite detail, or maybe the big strokes that really add depth to the overall design. What are those choices you're making? What are those strokes you are painting? And how are those leading to the masterpiece you want to create? Now, let's take it to the next level by adding on purpose to each of these actions we're talking about. Just like an artist has a vision for their masterpiece, you should have a vision for your life, for the dreams that you want, for what you want your life to look like, both today and in the future. And therefore, each action you take throughout the day, even the smallest, most insignificant actions, should always be in alignment with who you are, what you want to accomplish, what your life's purpose is. So sometimes maybe you need to start the day by asking yourself, what positive strokes can I make that are going to make an impact, that are going to get me to my goals a little bit faster? Those are the kind of questions you need to think about. Those are the kind of choices that should dictate what you do each and every day. Another aspect I want you to think about is how the little things you do, they can be a balance between success and fulfillment. When I interviewed Alan Lazaros, who was featured in our previous episode, there was something that he said that I thought was really profound. He shared how empty success feels without fulfillment, and how limiting fulfillment can be without success. So basically, what this made me think of in relation to today's topic is it's a true balancing act. And I feel like these little actions we take every day, they're the thing that can keep everything in check. I feel like they are the pivot point at the center of the seesaw. Picture that seesaw. On one end, you have fulfillment. On the other side, you have success. And the little things you do each day, they're what keeps the seesaw balanced. Otherwise, one end's going to go flying up and the other one's going to hit the ground. I believe it basically comes down to finding joy in the process. Joy should not just be thought of when we get the end result. I believe joy comes all throughout the journey, as long as everything is in alignment with one another. So the question is, though, but how do we maintain this balance and still move forward in our life? And, well, I guess you could say it all comes down to a few mindset shifts. Think of changing your mindset like changing the sails on a boat. A little change in the sail, a little change in how that sail catches the wind, it's going to propel the boat in a whole new direction. The slightest shift, it can change the direction drastically. Now, what's powerful is at first, you're not going to notice it. No, At first, you don't notice how much you're veering off course. But as the time passes, as you continue to sail, all of a sudden, you think you're reaching your destination, and no, you're way off course. So I want you to think of mindset shifts as the same way. It's kind of just like what I've been talking about with these daily actions you take, these little moments in time. They seem insignificant by themselves, but when repeated and when looked at from the big picture, it's true how much they can change the course of our life. In Alan's story, he shared about a tragic car accident. And you can pretty much say that that car accident, that was the change. That was the change in his sail that he needed. But you don't need a tragic event to adjust your sails. Goodness gracious, no. You can make it yourself with the little things. Believe that each small action you take, it's steering you towards your bigger dreams. As I want you to remember, they may seem insignificant. You may not think anything of them, but they're part of a bigger picture. You already figured out what you want your masterpiece to be. You've already figured out the purpose behind every action you want to take. Now you're being sure that they all are in check, all are in alignment with who you are, with where you want to be. And soon enough, the things that you thought were insignificant, wow, they just became monumental. With the right mindset in check, well, now it's time for you to put things into action. I don't want you to get yourself overwhelmed. I want you to just focus on one thing. I want you to think of one thing that you can do each day that you can commit to, that's in alignment with who you are, that you know ultimately is helping you to become the person you want to be, that's ultimately moving the needle forward. What is that one action? Now, maybe it doesn't feel like it's in direct alignment, but you becoming a bigger and better person, that matters. So what I mean by that is maybe it's you making it a goal that you're going to read a chapter a day in one of your favorite books. Maybe it's you going to take part in the summer journaling challenge that I mentioned inside of last week's solo episode. Whatever it is, I want you to remember that it's little. I'm talking about little actions making big results in your life. So come up with a plan. Figure out how you can incorporate this one extra little task into your daily routine. Now, remember, I want you to think of it a little bit different, because this isn't just another task for you to add to your to-do list. No, this is a building block for creating the life that you want to have. Now, of course, even the tiniest of steps, they can face big obstacles. If your life looks anything like mine, things are not always so smooth sailing. And it's so easy to get discouraged when your progress seems slow, or when progress is just totally shifted, stopped because of the chaos of life. But I want you to think of the bigger picture. And I want you to think of each of these actions as maybe a drop of water. One drop of water in a cup, it's not worth much. But one drop every day, well, after a while, you're going to finally have yourself a glass of water to drink. Think about big things in the world. Think about the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, it didn't just happen overnight. No, it was over years and decades of the water eroding away, creating this cavern, this amazing canyon. It takes time, but little actions, they end up with big results. Because of this, I encourage you to keep track of the actions you're taking each day that are moving you forward towards your goals. Maybe jot it down on your phone. Keep a little journal in your nightstand. Be sure that you're keeping track of your progress. I want you to be able to remind yourself, hey, look what I just did. I just accomplished this and this. And by doing this and that, well, it's made me be able to accomplish this goal. And that was something that I needed to do in order to achieve this other bigger goal. It's all part of the bigger plan. It's all just another step on your journey climbing to the top of your own mountain. I want you to remember, the small things, they are the big things. They are the secret to you achieving the big changes. The little things, they align your daily habits with your purpose, and they help you balance success and fulfillment. They help to be that balance that you need in your life. Remember, every mountain is climbed one step at a time. So I want today to be the day that you take that first step. And no matter how small it may seem, no matter how insignificant you think it is, it matters. It means something. It means something to you. And that's the only thing that matters. These are your hopes. These are your dreams that I want you to get to see come true. If today's episode resonated with you, I hope that you will take action. Take me up on my offer for you to book a free 30-minute coaching call with me so that we can talk about this, so that we can get clear on your game plan. We can figure out what strokes you need to take so that you can paint that masterpiece. Remember, just text summer 2024, no spaces, one word, summer 2024 to 33777. Again, that is summer 2024 to 33777. And that will get you an automatic response with a link to book your free coaching call. And of course, if you need additional information, please check out today's show notes where you can find a link to that same calendar and all the details right there. My friend, it's time for you to get out there, enjoy the day, enjoy the summer, and let's start thinking a little bit differently. Each morning we wake up. The actions we take today, they're going to impact our life of tomorrow.